What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here, and today we are going to break down the Morbius trailer that just dropped. And for some reason, Sony didn't think to do it on Halloween with like the vampire. But hey, I'm not getting paid for marketing, Rob. So, what do you think is going to happen in this Morbius
I didn't even
trailer?
realize that. Why would you not drop it on Halloween for vampires?
It's a vampire movie.
Or August.
And they waited till November.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I don't get it.
All right. But to know what the movie's about, what that's doing, we got to hit that play button to see what's going on.
Let's do it.
Smoke. Vampires hate smoke. Decaying. All right, let me actually.
You need a doctor?
Oh, yeah, he's like dying. I forgot
I
all
am a
about the
doctor.
trailer.
Yeah, he's got some type of medical condition that he's trying to cure himself with. Almost like Kirk Connors, like the lizard.
Yeah. It looks like
People
maybe
all
polio.
over the world have my disease.
Never know.
Here.
Could be.
To find a cure, we have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
There's also very.
If you're gonna run, do it now.
What?
He's attracted to bats. Saw this in the picture.
Okay, people, just disclaimer. That is not how vampire bats work.
You don't know that? Are you
Yes,
a
yes,
vampire
I do.
bat expert?
Yes, I do.
I don't think
Michael
That is
Morbius,
not how it works
you've been
at all.
they can be a different kind of bat.
Then you were
fruit bat?
found on a
It can be
container
some weird.
washed
It,
up off
it can be a
Long Island.
made-up version of them. Go with it. It's a fucking vampire show. It's not real.
Yeah, no shit.
All right. I'm like,
What did you do to yourself, Doc?
Tyrese. Oh man,
I wish I knew.
where there's gonna be a car chase scene in this movie.
okay.
I went from dying to being more alive than ever.
It worked.
Not exactly. I
Okay.
have
Okay,
increased
so like
strength
the
and
sonar.
speed.
He's gonna have like sonar
Some
echolocation.
form of
Yeah,
Batman.
I'm liking it.
They're gonna go into some of the
What
bat
else can I do?
powers.
I gotta see. Look. Ooh. That looks cool.
Okay, he's able.
He's flying.
He's able. I
Yeah,
can
that's kind of
see
cool.
There has to be.
sonar
There's
to do
something
that?
inside of me. Who wants to hunt
This feels a little more man bat
and consume blood?
I think this
Morbius.
has changed it from the comics traditional.
The face is actually pretty comic accurate.
Yeah. the
Oh, I
face-
like him. He's from
Half the city wants to
Chernobyl.
kill you.
But they had abused him.
We haven't
Yeah,
had
that-
anything this
I
good
think
since that thing in San
was Black
Francisco.
Cat.
The other half wants to control you.
Hey, Dr. Mike, you and I should stay in touch.
Oh, we gotta connect it to Spidey.
I'd do anything to save a life.
It's just from the bat. Oh, okay. Slow mo. That's cool.
Like what we do in the shadows. Like when we yell
Oh,
bat.
his face is slashed him. I'm down for this movie.
you don't take them.
I'm in it.
Are you here to heal the world? or to destroy it?
I'm loving this movie. He's controlling his face.
Who the hell are you,
He just broke his hand.
Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
Ha! 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 I like that joke. I'm Venom. Just kidding. I'm the doctor at your service.
Okay.
All right.
What do you think, man?
Before you go into this movie, looks really fun. I think it looks cool. I'm digging this whole vampire vibe. As much as the face is comic accurate, it's a little jarring when you look at everything else. It just doesn't. I don't know. It looks a little weird to me with the nose and stuff. But like him moving and phasing and slashing stuff when he's actually full vampired out looks cool. Him flying, I thought that was a little weird and campy, but like I think it could make some sense. I think like everything else, you gotta suspend disbelief. I know I'm gonna enjoy this movie. Whether or not it's gonna be a good movie is still yet to be seen. I think it's gonna have a lot of cool scenes that like in this trailer, like, oh my god, that was amazing. Oh, that's cool. We did see connection to both the Sam Raimi and the Vulture universe, which leads me to believe like the end of Venom, this is probably due to the multiverse. They all swarmed in and zoomed in together because he mentions Venom and then you saw Vulture there. I don't really know, and I know there was like still images online that talks about like the newspaper, Chris, and this is what I want to bring up to you. I don't know if you saw it, but like on the top of the newspaper, it mentions Rhino and Black Cat, right? So you see Rhino, Black Cat, you see Vulture, Venom's mentioned. It's kind of all over the place. So I wanted to get your take on where do you think this is?
I think it's in the Venom Sony universe.
Okay.
Particularly, I think they're leaving the connection and kind of like the back door open in case they do something Tom Holland Spider-Man related later, whether it's Sinister Six, whether it's the very famous Michael Morbius story in the comics where Spidey needs him to help him because the spider gene is affecting him and he grows like the 6 arms, which is a great comic story and cartoon style story, but it's hard. That to me is hard to picture in live action.
They could change it to he has the disease and not necessarily the 6 arms.
Absolutely. I think playing on the fact that Michael is in fact a doctor helps. It seems like they're taking kind of a lot of different things that it looks like to me that there's almost too much on the plate already. It seems like they're taking bits from Man-Bat in the Batman DC continuity where he's a doctor turned into like the Beast.
Okay.
Very like, also like Bram Stoker's Dracula as far as the feel, the bat,
like controlling the bat kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and
that
like
part
kind of
looks
like the hidden monster underneath. A little bit of the horror tropes, a little bit of like some MCU tropes in the beginning. It like he's on the like trying to figure stuff out, kind of like Bruce Banner, like trying to figure stuff out and stay away from stuff.
Like you mentioned Dracula, and like that just springs to my mind. Theoretically, this doesn't necessarily need to touch Spider-Man as much as we all wanted to. I'm saying that because like the whole vampire lore in Marvel is very strong. Right? Like, there's Dracula's in this, and he's a living vampire. There's Frankenstein, there's werewolf, and they could just play in this little monster universe that never really got taken off the ground by Universal Studios, and they could kind of do their own version of that within Marvel, within Sony, and they could be just fine. Like, I could definitely see this being 3 movies without touching Spider-Man if they focus on the vampire aspect. Like, he just became a vampire. Next one could be like, oh, Dracula finds out what's going on. He's hunting other ones. The third movie could be like him fighting Blade, right? And like that could be the end of it. And like they have a crossover there. I can see them not touching it, but as much as I want to have them in it, as if it's done right,
I don't know if they're gonna go that far.
Probably not.
At the end of the day, the basis I could say is that this movie to me is Sony keeping up their end of this licensing agreement for Spider-Man and his characters so they don't lose it and they make money
like, who's the villain in this? There's no villain. Like, and that's the other thing. Like
that we know of yet. Yeah, it's
that's gonna be hard to pick a villain.
This to me is absolute cash grab waiting for that, No Way Home money, that Spider-Man MCU money. This is them just keeping their licensing agreement alive. If you're excited for this movie,
I am. Great.
Like, I'm excited for you. But for me, this seems very much like the business side of Sony trying to keep it alive. It already to me looks like a mess.
Okay.
But I think in the perfect world, Rob, you were onto something where it's like, is Dracula a possibility down the line? Universal has those type of monsters. Is the name Dracula a problem for Marvel if they're allowed to do it or not? I don't think you're going to run into Blade because he's a vampire hunter, and Morbius is kind of like this anti-hero Spidey villain, not villain. Also, the question of is, are they going to focus on him needing blood to survive or plasma? Because I know in the old 90s cartoon it was plasma, because you couldn't say blood in front of kids. But I really just wonder where this is going to go. Is it a movie that's going to go nowhere? I can't see the after credit scene being a huge connective tissue to the MCU, maybe to Vulture or Scorpion that we've seen in Tom Holland's movies, maybe to Venom because he mentions Venom and it's the same kind of world. And who knows, maybe the effect that we saw at the end of Venom carries over to Morbius's world, but I don't know. I see this kind of a one and done as far as like, hey, we needed this to keep the Spider-Man license going.
It very well might be, and this just might be a character that they have developed and created in Jared Leto's Morbius, and whoever wants to could pick and choose and use him for their creative properties. But guys, we want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of the new Morbius trailer for the upcoming Morbius movie coming out in 2022? Is this something that's on your radar? Are you excited to see a cool vampire movie? Do you think it's going to be good? And more importantly, who do you think is going to be the villain? Let us know down below.
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss anything else we're doing as far as trailer breakdowns or other videos coming out on the channel. And as always, if you missed them, they are right here for your enjoyment. And as always, my name's Chris Heller. That is Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew, and we'll see you next time.